Hi, I'm Michael Heiser with Heiser Real Estate Group. This was Brian Strickland with Coastal Mortgage Solutions, and we're here to talk to you today on how you can buy a house in 2024. You've got to watch this. Before we can really go into 2024, we do have to review 2023. Brian, tell me some things you saw from a mortgage perspective on last year. What are some pros and cons, and kind of go from that?
Yeah, 2023 was a tough year in real estate in general.
Oh yeah.
Not only the mortgage world, interest rates climbing up to, nearly a decade high.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw, highest mortgage rates, since 1994.
Right.
Mortgage applications were down. It was just an extremely difficult year for home buyers.
It was frustrating.
100%.
Yeah, and the biggest thing too is even though things have kind of changed, in mortgage-wise too, what thing didn't change is inventory was still low.
Yep, you still
have low inventory.
Super low inventory, which is what's keeping home values up.
Yes.
So you got home values that are still maintaining high.
Mm-hmm.
You've got interest rates that are high.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the whole student loan thing.
Yep.
They had to start paying student loans back.
Right.
Borrowers had to start paying student loans back. Credit card interest rates that go through the roof.
Right.
So consumer spending and consumer debt is at an all-time high.
Right.
Doesn't make very well for a good home buying season.
No, it doesn't. And it was frustrating because typically in past markets, when rates go up, house values would come down,
Yep.
right? Because it's supply and demand, right?
Yep.
Well, guess what? The demand was still low. I mean, high as far as like wanting to get a house, but there's not much inventory. So home values just kept creeping up slowly, with interest rates still going up. So we do have some new news for you.
That's right.
As far
That's
as
right.
like 2024. And now let's talk about 2024 and how you can be successful in 2024 and what we see. Now, we don't have a crystal ball, right? You
That's
didn't bring
right.
one?
That's right.
You didn't bring one,
But
okay.
projections are out there. Things are moving in that direction.
Right.
The dominoes are falling to where
Right.
I think 2024 is going to be an exciting year in real estate.
I think so too. So let's go over, so what are your thoughts on rates now and what do you think they're going to be for the first quarter? Once again, no crystal ball here. We're speculating, but this guy's got the inside track.
That's exactly right. We had to get creative with financing in 2023 in order to get people into houses. We had to get creative financing, temporary buy down programs, permanent buy down programs. Thankfully we had some movement as far as loan qualification guidelines go,
Right.
that helped get people lower mortgage payments. So yes, interest rates may have been high. Yes, home values may have been high, but we had some wiggle room, some flexibility to make 2023 a decent year.
Yeah.
But in November, we saw the turn.
Yeah.
So in November, we finally got some good news on inflation. The CPI number came out for October, lower than expected, which is what we were waiting on. There has been a
Hallelujah.
Yes, there's been a flood to the bond market, which is helping interest rates to fall. This is one of the quickest reductions in interest rates that I've seen in my career.
It was amazing. It was just like 1 second I was on the phone talking to somebody about what the rates are, what they were last they checked or something like that.
Yep.
And then I talked to you and you're like, it's amazing how fast it just fell. And I was just like, what?
It
They
is.
really did. They fell so fast.
They were just waiting for some good news.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for some good news, some stability in the market that everything's going to be okay.
Right.
All right, so rates starting to fall going into 2024. The Fed came out and said they are going to cut rates up to 6 times in 2024.
Wow.
So 2024 is going to be a window for every home buyer that's been sitting on the sidelines,
Yes.
waiting to get back into the market. This is their time.
Right.
This is their time. And the sooner they do it is going to allow them to capitalize on that shift from seller's market to buyer's market
Yes.
that took place in 2023.
Right. And let me talk a little bit more in detail about that. Is because right now in 2023, what we've seen is something we definitely didn't see in 21 or 22 as far as conditions, different things, contingencies and stuff like that. So before in 2022, 2021,
Yep.
if you found something in a home inspection and people were fighting to get this house to begin with, the sellers were like, I'm sorry, we have 70 other people who want
That's
this
right.
place. We're not doing anything for you. In 2023, we have more and more people, sellers, who are like, okay, we'll put the roof on. We'll do this. We want to sell this house kind of thing. And so the opening window that Brian's talking about is the rates are coming down and sellers are, okay, they want to sell still.
That's right.
So you've got to jump in at a certain point in order to get the rate and then to get these things taken care of as well. There's some things you just have to have taken care of. Not everyone can put their down payment 3 or 10 or whatever it is.
That's right.
To get their home, plus their closing costs, plus everything else.
Yeah.
And having sellers cover that for you, it's important.
It's the Warren Buffett mentality.
Yeah.
Get into it
Yeah.
before everybody starts rushing in.
Yeah.
So this is your sign to get into it.
So Brian, what will happen once rates drop and there's still low inventory? What will we see again?
So you're going to see interest rates drop.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see a flood of home buyers come back into the market because they can now afford to buy a home.
Yep.
When interest rates were at 8%, home affordability was a huge issue.
Huge.
But we're seeing rates now in the 6% range, and if they continue to fall, it's going to be gangbusters.
Yep.
You're going to have a huge flood of home buyers into the market, which is going to do what? It's going to drive home prices back up because of competition.
And bidding wars.
That's exactly
bidding
right.
Bidding wars all over again.
That's exactly right.
Which is terrible for buyers. You're having to think, oh, I got to put 10,000 over, I got to do this, it's terrible because let's think about it. I mean, that does make your home price go up.
It does.
Absolutely.
Yep. The home comes on the market and it's got 6, 7, 8 offers on it.
Yep.
They can pick and choose. They can get a bidding war. They can drive that value up.
They cannot take care of literally anything on the things that come up in the inspection list.
Yep.
That's one thing that they don't care much about because they have 4 people waiting.
That's
so
right.
The opportunity that we're talking about here is not waiting until it drops down to super low.
That's right.
Because then everyone else is going to jump in and then you're going to be fighting for stuff.
That's right. Go ahead and get your affairs in order.
Yeah.
Get your ducks in a row and be ready to be in the best possible situation to put a competitive offer in on a house and get the house.
Yes. Now, I know people are probably thinking, well, wait, shouldn't I wait until it's super low before I jump in? I mean, aren't I going to be locked into that rate forever?
No, not at all.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's always, there's always the refinance opportunity.
Yes.
There's always the, recasting opportunity to lower your monthly payment. So you're not locked into that mortgage rate forever. You can refinance to a lower mortgage rate, but what I'm getting at is home affordability is getting to a point to where you're going to be able to get a house at a substantially lower value mortgage payment wise than you were 6-8 months ago.
Yes.
Mortgage payment's going to be $500 less a month, just to throw out a number. $500 less a month. People can start affording houses again.
And so you got to take into account, okay, all right, so if I go ahead and get the ball rolling as it's coming down, so you're going to be able to get the house, get the terms that you want because sellers still want to sell.
That's right.
You're going to get the terms you want. You have a great agent who can negotiate that for you.
That's right, my man.
And so get the terms you want. You get maybe that be the 3% rate that I personally don't think we'll ever see again.
I think that's a pipe dream. I think
never gonna happen again.
I think if you get something in the 6s and in the 5s, that's going to be a good rate. That's going to be the new norm moving forward.
Yeah, and so you get the house that you wanted in the area you wanted. You get the terms that you want. You get a good interest rate. And then you get the house, right? You got your house, you got your terms, and then you're not locked in this rate forever. What happens if, let's say, the rate drops, I don't know, another point down?
I mean, if they go from 6 to 5 or 5 to 4, refinance.
Refinance. That's all you have. And there were so many people like myself who refinanced when it dropped down so low. That's what every experienced homeowner does. Once they see their rate go down or the national rate go down, they refinance. They're like a guy like right here.
That's right.
And
that's exactly right.
So you refinance, you keep getting your payment lower and lower, and you've got everything you wanted. But if you wait to the last minute when everyone is saying, oh, I'm going to get a house now, you're going to be fighting for a house. You're going to be paying over list price by far and not getting the terms you want.
Yeah, the savings that you will get from the rates dropping will be offset because values have gone back up. So take advantage of the savings on the interest rates while values are still steady.
That's right.
So take advantage of those savings. The only way to do that is to get in before the market heats back up. Let's talk about prepping on getting ready to purchase in 2024.
Sure.
We're winding down 2023. You've got somebody that's seeing this video and they're like, you know what? I do want to buy a house in 2024 sooner rather than later. That way I could take advantage of these savings.
Right.
What can I do to get ready so I'm in the best possible position? That would be give me a call.
That's right. Step 1.
That's right. Give me a call. We'll get an application completed for your pre-approval. That will allow us to go through credit, income, assets, down payment, monthly payment, make sure that you are feeling comfortable with what that mortgage entails. That also allows us to structure a negotiated contract to where we can keep as much money in the buyer's pocket as possible.
Absolutely.
Sellers are willing to sell. Sellers are willing to wheel and deal right now.
Right now.
They want to get rid of the house now. Okay, I can't say that in 6 to 8 months.
Yep.
Okay, so if we can get seller concessions, if we can have sellers pay closing costs, do some repairs, drop the price of the house down, whatever it may be, we get you the house at a discount with that savings involved.
And it's important to start the mortgage process as soon as you can. I mean, if you think you're going to be, you know what, I'm not going to buy right now, but I'm going to probably look to start buying at the end of January. Go ahead and start the process.
Exactly. The sooner you start, the better. So a mortgage pre-approval is good for 120 days.
Wow.
So 120 days takes a couple updates and it's good for another 120 days. With that time, we can work on your credit. I've got tools that will allow me to manipulate a credit score. We could pay down debt to raise your credit score. We can, close cards out, get you signed on to new cards to get your credit score as high as possible so you could take advantage of the lower interest rates.
That's great.
And that's all comes through planning, not just going and saying, there's the house, I want that house, let me call and get it. Hey, Brian, I want to sit down with you and take the next 2 to 3 weeks to get in the best situation possible so I can have the best terms on my mortgage.
And then I get to do the fun thing is I get to help you go shopping with someone else's money. I mean, Brian's money.
That's right.
Your money.
That's right.
But the biggest thing is step one, not waiting until everybody is trying to get a house. All right. You're gonna be fighting for it. And because that's the process, go ahead and get pre-approved, get pre-qualified, get it done. And then Brian kicks you over to me, and then we find your dream home, get you the terms you want, get you the place you want to be at. And then once we get this perfect house that you've been looking for, then let's lo and behold, you get locked into the house, and then the rates drop even more, like next year or something like that. You refinance. You refinance the house, you get an even better mortgage rate, and then you just move on for the rest of your life, putting yourself in a great financial standpoint for when you do sell the house 5, 6, 7, 10 years later down the road.
That's exactly right.
And so you're building up
you
equity.
hate to say it, but you know you're thinking it.
Yeah, no money really lives in a house for 30 years.
Marry the house and date the rate.
That's right. Something that I learned a long time ago is that when it comes to making profit on a house, it's not when you sell it, it's when you buy it.
That's exactly right.
And so as these rates go down, as inventory is still low and limited, values keep going up, which is wonderful for you if you're living in your house and you bought this house at a great time.
Yeah.
So
let me speak to the prep part real quick. So we just rolled out what's called a verified approval letter. What that means is we take a buyer who is in the process of shopping for a house. We go ahead and send their file into underwriting. So underwriting reviews credit. If there's an opportunity to increase credit score, we take advantage of it. Underwriting reviews their income and their assets.
Wow.
So those are the 3 main things other than appraisal and title and insurance.
Right.
So once you find the house, then all we need is an appraisal. Maybe we get an appraisal waiver. Might not even need that.
Oh, wow.
Then we get clean title on the property. We find insurance. Once we have those, you're cleared to close, ready to wrap this thing up 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
That's incredible.
Yep.
I can talk about how the optimism I have for next year all you want. I'm sure you could too.
Oh, 100%.
But the biggest thing is get off the fence. If you want, don't wait for everyone to start doing it. You get in earlier, you're going to get better terms. So thank you so much. If you watched this much of the video, I greatly appreciate it. I know Brian does too.
Definitely.
If you're looking for an incredible mortgage broker, Coastal Mortgage Solutions is the person, or Brian is the person you're going to want to reach out to. And I'd love to help you find this home that we're talking about that's going to meet all your needs and put you in a great financial situation for later on down the road as well. So thank you so much. Have a great day.